In this tutorial, I will give you an orientation to using GroupWrangler to get the most out of it. We are currently on the home page, the default page where you log into GroupWrangler. This can be reached by clicking the GSEP and GBP logo in the upper left corner at any time. The home page is the announcements page for all of IGP. This is where you will find important information for everyone in IGP. You can go back into the archives over here on the right and look at the past announcements as well. After big meetings, this is typically where we will post any slides or documents that you might need. You can also reach the Getting Started tab from here as well. This is where this tutorial and others are located, along with important documents outlining IGP policies. In previous tutorials, you've seen how the profile page works, but let's revisit this really quickly. Click your name in the upper right corner to reach your profile. The first tab, Profile, displays the profile that shows to other GroupWrangler students, including your email at the bottom of the page. To update this information, click on the Attributes tab or the Settings tab. It is really important that your attributes are set correctly, as this is what decides which groups you are on in GroupWrangler, which we will get into in a bit. Make sure that your major, emphasis if you have one, language, year abroad, and program are set correctly. If you are a sophomore or above, make sure your College of Arts and Letters mentor for your language or CCS degree is listed correctly. Freshmen, your mentors will not be assigned until your sophomore year, so leave this blank. Be sure to click Save Changes if you make any changes. The Settings tab lets you share information with fellow IGPers about yourself. The other students who are going through this program are your biggest and best resources for navigating IGP successfully. So make sure you update your information so you guys can find students with common interests to network and make it through IGP. Fill in your in a nutshell, about me, hometown, and fun facts to get to know each other better. The settings page is where your student ID number is updated as well. This is how we check attendance at meetups. So if you have been having any trouble checking in at events, check here first. Enter your ID number with no leading zeros and no spaces. You can also upload your profile photo here. Make sure to upload a photo where your face can be clearly seen. We know whether or not you've uploaded a photo when you check into every meetup, so make sure you take care of this. Next, we are going to shift over to the Meetups tab. The first thing to know is that you can reach the Meetups page via the tab in the left menu here or on your student profile here. Let's click on this one just to show you some of the differences. Both pages show the information seen here on the General Meetups page. A listing of events with whether or not attendance is mandatory, the location, and when the event is, divided by past meetups and upcoming future meetups. Moving back over to the profile page view of the meetups, you will see the same view plus a tally of your meetups attendance. I recommend using this meetups page as you can see how many meetups you've attended, missed, or been excused from here in the top portion. If you have volunteered or organized a student-run event, those will be listed here as well. Remember that volunteering and organizing events is a great way to make up missed meeting points. Click on a meetup to get a description of the meetup with more information. You will see that there are two buttons at the top of the meetup for attendance. If you plan on being at a meetup, you can RSVP to the event by clicking yes. If you can't attend for a valid reason, click Request Excusal. Remember that the only valid reason for requesting an excusal is for a class or lab scheduled during the meetup. Be sure to enter the class information when requesting an excusal. Include which class it is and the meeting times. We will see your excusal request on the back end and will either approve it or deny it, and you will get a notification back in GroupWrangler. Remember that work or group projects are not a valid reason for an excuse. We give you the dates for mandatory meetups far in advance, so you need to schedule accordingly. Be sure to enter excusal requests prior to the start of the meetup or they will not be considered. Going back to your profile page, you can click on the Calendar tab for a calendar view of upcoming meetups. Mandatory meetups are color-coded red, while optional are blue. I recommend logging in to GroupWrangler and checking your calendar to see what is upcoming and noting it down in your planner or personal calendar to make sure that you always have an up-to-date schedule for GroupWrangler. The blog tab is just that, a place to blog. You are welcome to use this at any time, but you will be using it for sure during your year abroad. This is where students blog about their time abroad, sharing photos and stories. The Groups tab shows which groups you are a part of in GroupWrangler. You will see this as a direct reflection of the information you entered in your attributes page. It is so important that these be set correctly because this is how we get information and invite you to meetups specific to you. Each group is set up the same way. I'm going to click on my Spanish group to show you an example. The first tab that you are brought to is a Members tab. This is a full listing of everyone else in this group. You can organize members by name, hometown, major, language, year abroad, study or internship destination. This is a great way to find people. Maybe you want to know who is in your cohort or who is in the cohort above you, so you can organize by year abroad. Or you can organize by major to see who is doing the same plan as you. However you choose to organize, this is a great way to find your people in GroupWrangler. Next is the Announcements tab. This is where we post group-specific announcements. So if there is a scholarship opportunity that is available only to Spanish majors, it will be located here. This keeps you from being bombarded with announcements that are useless for you in your degree program. There's a full archive of past announcements located on the right, just like the Home Announcements page. Next is the Activity tab. I think this is the absolute best part of GroupWrangler and is what is going to keep you going. Each of the language groups has an activity tab, and this is where the blog posts of students who are abroad is kept. This page is awesome for a couple reasons. One, it is absolutely filled with a goldmine of information about your year abroad. You can learn about each of the different IGP schools and what they are like, and you can learn what the year abroad is really like for real students. They post fantastic tips and tricks and thoughts on what it is like to be abroad. Two, I think it is what keeps you motivated to keep going when you are feeling overwhelmed and like IGP is just too much. We know it is a rigorous track, and sometimes it can make you wonder if it really is worth it, especially your junior year when you are in upper division coursework and getting ready to go abroad. Visiting the activity page can keep you motivated for why you are putting in all this work, and you can see the other students who have made it through the same track and they made it abroad. So check it out, read it, it's going to be super helpful for you. Remember that each of your groups is set up in the same way as this one, with the Members tab, Announcement tab, and Activity tab. This is a forum section where students can post about different topics just like any forum on the internet. If you want to talk about electrical engineering, go into the electrical engineering forum and you can see the different posts that students have already put in here, or you can always add a new topic and get a forum going. This is a portion of GroupWrangler that students haven't been using as much, but please use it if you think it will be helpful for you. This is a search box where you can search for people in GroupWrangler or groups. Say you found someone in GroupWrangler who is doing the exact same degree as you, but they are a year ahead, and you want to keep an eye on them to see how they are navigating the program. You can type their name into the search box and check out their profile. You can see their blog from here, or their contact information if you want to get in touch. Okay, that wraps up this tutorial on using GroupWrangler to navigate IGP. Remember that GroupWrangler is your lifeline to IGP. This is where we post information to keep you on track and organize your calendar. Thanks for watching, and let us know if you have any more questions.